Welcome to this free immigration help channel. Today is July 8, 2024, and we are getting into the volume 220, of me answering your immigration related questions. As always, before beginning this video, I'm going to mention, as I mentioned in every video on this channel, I am not an immigration attorney. This is not legal advice. All the information provided in these videos on this channel are directly from official government sources like USCIS and of course the Department of State with their visa bulletin. So let's start with the very first question from Ravidios 5234. F4 category Pakistan, priority date is 30 July 2007, documentarily qualified is 13 December 2022. We are current in July visa bulletin. When we will get our interview? All right, that's awesome. So you're F4. Let me double check Pakistan. Let's see. So it's July. I wonder how long you have been current. So right now it is on August. So I'm not sure if it moved in July. Let me double check because I want to see how long you have been current. Okay, so you just became current. Congratulations. Just literally like a month, 2 months current. Nice. So that's definitely great news. Now, not so good news is that Pakistan, as far as I know, the embassy there is pretty busy. And from what I get on this channel from the commenters from Pakistan, commenting on the situation and how long they're waiting, the wait time seems to be about 2 years on the interviews being scheduled. So basically you're becoming current, your immigrant visa is available. Once your immigrant visa is available, US Embassy schedules the interview. And because of the long wait, depending on how long the wait is, now within the US Embassy, nothing to do, I mean, of course the whole wait time, it had a lot to do with backlog and the visa bulletin. But this is now local. This is now local within, so each US embassy around the world, they're gonna have different wait times depending on how busy they are. And the embassy in Islamabad in Pakistan, they are pretty busy as far as I can tell, again from the comments, with the wait time being around 2 years. This is a very, very rough number because a lot of this wait time accumulation happened because we had this whole closures during the pandemic. So a lot of the embassies, they were behind because they were not scheduling interviews for some of the embassies. They were closed for over a year. They were not scheduling any interviews. So of course that caused significant delay, but it's not as bad as the visa backlog, and you're already done with the visa backlog. So it might be a lot less time than 2 years. They might be able to catch up within the next 6 months, and you might have to only wait, let's say a year, like an average, what it is right now, an average around the world. And again, with the average around the world, they might also be catching up. So this wait time for the interviews, it might be dropping. But what I would recommend you do is give it another 3-4 months just to make sure that your interview is scheduled for a fact. Because most of the times they schedule within a couple of weeks. Once your immigrant visa is available, they schedule the interview. Not they schedule the interview and they contact you and say, oh, your interview is scheduled. They schedule it within their system, but you're not going to find out when it was scheduled for up until 30 days before the interview. So if, let's say, your interview was scheduled for January 2026, you're not going to find out up until December 2025. Unfortunately, I know it's people are in the dark. I wish they changed this and give a sooner notice, because I would rather wait but at least know when my interview is scheduled rather than just being in the dark. But here's what I would recommend you do. Give it another 3-4 months just to make sure your interview is scheduled for sure, and then reach out to the US Embassy. And that's a US Embassy, pretty sure in Islamabad. Let me take a look. Pakistan, here we go. I think they only have one embassy. Yeah, so the embassy in Islamabad. Yeah, so reach out to them and say, hey guys, I have been current now on the visa. My immigrant visa was, you can say it both ways. You can say I've been current on the visa bulletin, or you can say my visa was available for now 3-4 months. I wanted to reach out and see when my interview was scheduled for. They might give you that information. They might not give you that information. If they might not give you that information, maybe they can tell you how long approximately the wait time is. At least you will be able to estimate for yourself. But it is worth reaching out. If they say no, we're not gonna give you any information, don't argue. Please, everybody who's watching this video, don't ever argue with government authorities. Absolutely pointless. You can make it worse for yourself, for sure. And you will. If you argue, if you try to prove something, it's pointless. Just say, okay, thank you for your help, no problem at all. And then give it another 3-4 months and reach out again and see, maybe you'll get somebody more helpful over the phone. Because over the phone, it's not an official announcement. They can look into their scheduling system and say, oh yeah, we see your interview is scheduled January 2026. You will get your official notification in December 2025, for example. Or at least they can say, oh, right now we have for family preference categories for F4, for example, or if they have separate interviews for separate categories, again, depends on embassy, whatever, some embassies, they have different scheduling system for different family preference categories. They might say for F4, right now the wait time for interview is approximately 1.5 years. So if you waited now for 4 months, you know that you have approximately 1 year and 2 months to wait. Also very helpful. All right, let's move on to the next one from Luzui Koku. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing the name. 9137. Luzui, thank you very much for being a member of this channel. This is what this icon means. And for everyone who's watching this video, if you want to support this channel, this is one of the great ways to do it. It's only like 99 cents, I think, $1 a month. And 30 members per month, they can sponsor translation of one video, because that's how much it costs to translate one video to whatever language it's requested. Whatever language, I do get sometimes requests on translate it please to this language, translate it please to that language, and I do have a list where I record it all, and I get to hire translators of these different languages and translate this video, so people who do not speak English, they can still watch some of these videos. So yeah, that's what happens when you sponsor this channel. So I really appreciate it. Okay, so the question from Luzui is F4 from Philippines, documentarily qualified 18 July 2022. All right, so 2 years ago now. Priority date March 2000, current now. Approved November 2005. That's awesome. Please inform me when I may have my interview. Thank you. Luzui, thank you for the question. So same exact thing. Same exact thing as Ravidio that I was responding. Very similar situation, because Philippines is one other country that has quite a long wait time for interviews, specifically after the immigrant visa becomes available. And I think it's a U.S. Embassy in Manila, Philippines. I'm pretty sure. I don't think there is another one, but let me double check. Let me go to Philippines and see if there's another embassy there. Sorry, my internet is, I don't know why it's taking forever. Yeah, there you go. So U.S. Embassy in Manila, looks like that's the only one. Pretty busy, as far as I can tell from people commenting. Same thing as in Pakistan, 2.5 years potentially. There is a wait time. So let me look at your priority date is March 2000. Let's take a look at Visa Bulletin and see approximately how long you have been current. So F4 Philippines, we are on February 2004. Whoa, how long you have been current? You must have been current for quite a long time now, because especially considering that you were documentarily qualified 2 years before. So you must have had your immigrant visa available. You must have been current for, I would say, at least a year, at least. If you want, let me know in a follow-up comment, post it as a separate comment, and let me know, and that goes for everyone, if you have a similar situation like Luzui, or if you have a similar situation like Ravi Deos. where you are already documentarily qualified and your priority date is already current. If you're asking me when to approximate the interview, let me know how long you have been current on the visa bulletin. Because let's say, for example, Luzui, if I'm estimating correctly, you being current for at least a year now. If you have been current for a year now, meaning that your immigrant visa was available for a year now, your interview has already been scheduled for about a year now. You just don't know it yet because they are only allowed to announce the interview 30 days before the interview date. Very rarely 60 days. Most of the times 30 days. There is a conversation actually going from the Department of Homeland Security. I think it's the Department of State. I think it might be Department of State. They're trying to change that rule that you have to do medical examination within 30 days. They're trying to change it to 6 months, which means that they will now, hopefully, if that passes, they will start announcing these interviews 6 months before the interview date. So at least we're gonna know 6 months in advance and not 30 days in advance. It's a lot better, I think. Honestly, I would just tell me immediately, hey, we scheduled your interview for 2027. I know it's a long time to wait. It's not pleasant, but at least I know that it is scheduled in 2027 instead of me being in the dark up until 2027, So hopefully that passes. But if you have been for a year current, if you had your immigrant visa available for a year, roughly, again, you can calculate about 2.5 years wait time as of right now. Again, things can change, rough estimate, but you can estimate that you still have about year and a half. If you have been current on the visa bulletin for 2 years, then you're looking at the interview anytime right now or in the next 6 months. So it depends on how long you have been current. If you want, let me know in a separate comment, but you can calculate yourself. You can definitely do the same thing as I recommended to Ravi Deos, is you can reach out over the phone to U.S. Embassy in Manila, be nice, be professional, say, hey guys, I've been current for however long you've been current. Tell them so that they know that your immigrant visa has been available for that long, and say that you want to see if they can give you, possibly, when the interview was scheduled for. And if not, maybe they at least can tell you how long the current wait time for these interviews is. And yeah, that would be great. But if they say no, we cannot give you any information, or a lot of times they are not able to reach U.S. embassies at all, unfortunately. But if you get somebody over the phone who's not helpful and rude or whatever, just be polite, say, yeah, okay, no problem at all, because pointless to argue with these guys. All right, let's move on to the next one from Nicholas 1764. Question: for place of the last arrival, should I put the airport I came in or the city I came in? Please help. I arrived in Dallas maybe airport, but I put Washington. Oh no, so it's a different city. Sorry, never mind. My geography is not fantastic. But I put Washington as Washington in my I-94. Did I make a mistake? No, Nicholas, not at all. So it doesn't really matter. You can do both. It doesn't really matter. You can either put the port of entry or you can just put city and state. It's not going to be a big deal. So yeah, don't worry about it. That's completely fine. All right, let me post the response, and we're gonna move on to the next one from user. Sorry, sometimes YouTube does not show me the names. My husband is green card holder USA, and I am from Bangladesh. My documentary qualified email 19 July 2023. Awesome. So you got documentarily qualified a year ago. Priority date 23rd December 2021. Will I hope that August visa bulletin I can get interview appointment? Please reply me. I'm always grateful to you. I still waiting from 2021. It's too frustrating. Yeah, unfortunately that's part of immigration process. The frustration is just part of it, unfortunately. I myself am an immigrant, and I completely understand that. So let's take a look at the visa bulletin. You are from Bangladesh, so you're in old chargeability area. Your wife of a green card holder, so you are in F2A category. So let's see what's going on for F2A. Since you're already documentarily qualified, we're going to look at graph A, final action dates. So F2A right now is on 15 November 2021, and you are in December. Okay, December 2021. So yeah, you have, hopefully we will see. And I'm assuming you're already subscribed to this channel. In the next, literally it might be tomorrow, but in the next few days, there is going to be an August visa bulletin. So hopefully we see at least 1 month's movement, because that's all you need. You need 1 month's movement on the visa bulletin. Obviously, as of when the visa bulletin for August comes out, it's not going to be immediately in effect, because we have to get into August for August visa bulletin to be in effect. But hopefully on August you will be current. Now, once you are current, that's when interview is scheduled. And like I was mentioning to Luzui, Koku, and Ravideos earlier in this video, I'm sure Bangladesh, I don't know, I don't have information on Bangladesh. I don't know how long the wait time is for those interviews. But around the world, on average, it's about a year now. So you still have about a year after becoming current on the visa bulletin to wait for the interview. Bangladesh might be busier than usual. So you're potentially looking a year and a half, maybe even 2 years. But the same kind of advice I gave to first two commenters: wait, give it 3-4 months after becoming current on the visa bulletin, and then reach out to the US Embassy. I'll give you the link as well, so you have that for Bangladesh. Let's see, where is the US Embassy in Bangladesh? There you go. Let's see, in Dhaka. Yeah, and this is their phone number. Reach out to them 3-4 months after you're current, and then ask them. And same thing, be polite, be professional. Don't let your frustration transfer on these guys, because absolutely pointless. It's just it's you know, bureaucracy. It's part of the deal. It's paperwork and documentation, and that's what we have to deal with, unfortunately. All right, let's move on to the next question from BB Montero. Actually, not a question, just thank you so much for your help. This video really helpful. Thank you for letting me know. I'm glad this was helpful. Okay, another comment from Marie Francois. Thank you, I really need this. All right, perfect. Glad this was helpful. Moving further. All right, another thank you. Thank you so much for making this video, this channel as well, quite helpful. Galaxy Note, thank you, appreciate your, thank you. Great love for USA and its people. All right, moving further to Dominique Birchie 3407. Mary, my priority date is, I'm not sure who Mary is. Maybe it's a form of saying hello, Mary. Maybe, I don't know. My priority date is October 22, 2022, and documentarily qualified on the December 23, 2023. And my categories is CR1, and my chargeability country is Accra, Ghana. Please, is my interview date. Dominic, thank you very much for your question. So here's a great news for you, is that because you are, let's see, date is October and documentarily qualified on December 23, 2023. So you have been documentarily qualified about 7 months ago. Because you are in CR1, that is immediate relative category, which means that visa bulletin does not apply to you at all. There is no backlog for you, nothing like that. Your immigrant visa has been available the moment your I-130 has been approved by USCIS, all right? And we are not even looking at the priority date, because we really don't care about that. You were documentarily qualified on December 23, 2023. That's when your case package was sent to the local US Embassy in Ghana. And as soon as they received it, allow a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks here and there for processing, your interview is already scheduled. You just don't know it yet because you're not within that 30 days that I was mentioning earlier. All right. Now, with that being said, Ghana, I don't have Ghana on my list. I do have a list of countries that people let me know how long they waited for an interview. And for everyone who's watching, if you had your interview scheduled, please let me know. the country where, your family preference category, and how long you waited for that interview. Because how long you waited since your immigrant visa was available, since you were current on the visa bulletin, or since you were documentarily qualified if you're in immediate relative category. I have a list of countries going, I write it all down, and I can give a little bit more accurate answers. But you have been waiting for 6-7 months approximately. Ghana, I don't think it might be busier than usual, but on average it's about a year and a half potentially. So you are still looking 6 months to a year. So it is possible that you might get your interview by the end of 2024, but I think it is probably more realistic that sometime in the first half of 2025 getting your interview. I think that is a more realistic expectation. But again, I personally don't know how long the wait time is in Ghana. You can do exactly the same thing that I recommended to everyone, well, most of the people that I was responding to today. Reach out, because you already waited for 6 months after you were documentarily qualified. And again, because you're in immediate relative category, that's why we're looking at documentarily qualification date, not the availability of the immigrant visa, because your immigrant visa was available when the I-130 was approved already. Reach out to the U.S. Embassy in Ghana, and I'm going to give you the link for that. And again, be polite, be professional, say, hey guys, I waited for 6 months now, just wanted to see when my interview was scheduled for. There you go, in Accra, here's their phone number. And hopefully they're helpful over the phone. If not, don't be upset. But yeah, I would say 6 months to a year, you're still looking at potentially. And once you do get it scheduled, once you know for a fact, please come back to this channel. Let me know how long you waited, and I'll put Ghana on my list. And I'm gonna know for sure how long the wait time in Ghana is, at least as of right now. All right, let's move on to the next one from Prabjot Kaur 6235. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing the name. F3 India priority November 2009. Documentarily qualified July 2024. Wait. 25 July 2024. We are in July 8. So either year wrong or the date wrong. When will interview be held? Okay, so let's take a look at the visa bulletin. I'm not sure when you were documentarily qualified, because that's kind of a future. Yeah, so I'm not going to look at that date, but it really doesn't matter. It's mostly the priority date that we need to look at. The good news is that you are already documentarily qualified. So let's see. For F3, India is currently on April 2010. April 2010, and you are November 2009. Okay, so you are definitely already current, and your immigrant visa is already available. Depending on how long you have been current on the visa bulletin, that's the amount of time that your interview has already been scheduled, and you're just waiting in line for the interview to be announced to you. Definitely you can call them and ask them, but here's the thing. Here's one thing that I'm going to mention. I'm going to give you the link for US Embassy in India. One thing that I'm going to mention though, that might be unique to your case, because if you just were really though, if you really did not make a mistake except for this part, but you really were in July 2024, few days ago, documentarily qualified, that tells me that there was some kind of delay in your case. Meaning that, for example, let's say they transferred to the NVC, you started the documentary qualification process, and they did not approve you on the first documentary qualification submission, and you had to do it again, you had to find a substitute sponsor, whatever. Because judging by your priority date, you should have been documentarily qualified, I would say, at least a year and a half earlier. So please let me know. Please let me know what the correct documentary qualification date is. You've been current for a while, and judging by your priority date, your interview has already been scheduled. But if you were literally just now documentarily qualified, you had some kind of delay in your case, and there is still, obviously it might have been just now scheduled, so there's a lot longer wait time. India, as far as I can tell, also about 2.5 years wait time for these interviews. So keep that in mind. You know, it's and I'm not sure, depending on where they scheduled you, might have been in one of the consulates. Most likely U.S. Embassy in Delhi, but I'll just give you the link for India in general, and you can go buy it. All right, so let me copy this, and we're gonna move on to the next question from Peter Irungus 5020. Sorry for mispronouncing the name. How much is I-129 premium processing? Great question. I have no idea. Let's take a look. This is uscis.gov, official government website for U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. So we will just either go to forms. You can go to forms and type in 129, or you can just type in the search bar at the top. I'm going to do that, save some time. There we go. Petition for non-immigrant worker. And let's see. What I like to do is we can obviously need a filing fee. Let's see. We can do Control F and it searches the whole thing. So premium. Oops. There was something premium. There you go. Which states the premium processing clock does not run on any business premium, which is benefit of premium processing cases that were received but were not yet before premium clock post. Okay, so no mention of the price here, no mention of the price here. Okay, well, that's not very helpful. Let's see if there is not in a filing fee, but let's see a fee schedule for I-129. Maybe we can find the information there. See, immigrant USCIS immigrant fee, I-129. There we go. Petition for a non-immigrant worker. Let's see if there is a separate for premium processing. No, there is not here, so it might be here. Let's see. I'm gonna do the same thing. Premium, nothing for premium at all. Interesting. Huh. There's a request for fee waiver, but no mention of a premium filing fee. Okay. Well, let's try looking at this document and see if there is anything that has to do with premium. Aha! No, that's the I-907. That's not it. Nope. No. There isn't anything for I-129. I wonder if it's the same price. It might be the same price. You just request a premium processing, and based on that request, they either choose at their own discretion whether they want to process it as a premium or not. I don't find it possible, though. It probably is premium. Some public law. No mention here as well. All right, well, let's take a look on one more place. I-129 at the instructions form and see if we can find premium processing. To determine if your request classification or category is available for premium processing, please visit USCIS website. How do I use premium processing service? If you are requesting premium processing service, you must also file form I-907, request for premium processing service. Okay, so there is a separate form for that, and there is a separate page for this. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Use this form to request faster processing of I-129. Okay. Oh, so you can file it online. That's definitely great news. And okay, so I-907. That's why. So I-907 is a form for a separate premium processing. That's why we found it on 907. So let's go back to fee schedule, and I-907 is, here you go. So there it is. So here is your premium fees. All right, perfect. We found it. So I'm going to give you this link. Let's see if it works and it gives you the correct page. Yes. Okay, so that should work. And yeah, there you go. Depending on which category you're filing your I-129 based on, this is going to be paper filing. Some are not available to file online, but some are available. If they are available to file online, I would recommend filing online. But here you go. These are your processing fees. So I'm gonna say, let me copy this. and paste my response here, and I'll give you the link, and there you go. Alrighty, so that's all we have time for today. Thank you everyone for asking your questions. Hopefully my answers were helpful. If you have any follow-up questions, comments, if I requested some kind of information from you and you want to provide it, just make sure not to respond to my comment within your comment, because YouTube does not show me those notifications. Just submit it under any video, this video or whatever video on this channel, as a separate comment, and it will show up on this wall, and I will try to address it in a timely manner in the next one of these Q&A videos. So thank you very much for watching. God bless everyone, and I'll see you all in the next video.